Mediocre Hobbies Podcast, Episode 14. Who let that guy on the horse?
Hey guys, Andy back here from the Mediocre Hobbies Podcast. Of course, joined by the glorious Mr.
Tom Landy. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I thought you could hear me, but it was because I hadn't accepted that it was recorded, so you could not hear me just yet.
Well, I think you just got a notification like that. I literally finished watching the Cadian Shock Trooper video, and you were like, "Okay, now I'll speak to him."
Yeah, that video only went up like 10 minutes ago.
Well, I mean, it's 11 minutes and 22, so yeah, pretty much
Nailed it. Yeah,
it's good.
Perfect. Yeah.
Good. I have to say, I didn't like it at all from the artwork, the kind of screenshot of it, and then I saw you paint it. I was like, that's so much better. It looks really dark in the kind of cover art.
Yeah.
But it's really nice. I really, really like it.
Yeah, I wasn't like when I first saw the flash of new Cadians, I immediately had that thought that I think a lot of us hobbyists have like lately, which is like, oh, if they just made Cadians busy, which is like, I don't need Cadians to be busy because I've got so many of them to paint, but it wasn't like that at all. It was just like truly a joy to paint. Like I loved it.
It's really nice.
Oh, such great models.
I ordered the box, obviously.
Yes,
of course it did. I mean, I assume you saw all my tanks the other day on Instagram.
Yeah, yes,
I mean, I needed a book to play them, but I don't think I can take a tank arm anymore. Can I?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, hold on.
I think in the previous book, if you took them as a spearhead or whatever, they got obsec, but they don't anymore. So there's no way to do Lehman Russ obsec. So it's kind of you can take them technically.
I wonder if a tank commander actually does anything different. Like gives you.
I don't think so. I mean, you've got the book, right? So you tell me.
Currently holding it, yeah. Does he do anything weird? Order optional abilities?
I think so basically, from what I understand from watching the internet, he is the same as like a commissar or anything else, but he can affect tanks. So
yeah,
his
tank
orders affect, yeah. But other than that, no.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't seem as though you can take a fully mechanized unless there's something that I'm missing. Because they used to be, most of the time you could.
Yeah, and to be honest, we're at that point in 40k right now where we're going to start getting the end of season like Psychic Awakening books. So I wouldn't be surprised if Psychic Awakening book has a sprue or something that comes out, or a tank commander that comes out that you then have rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like a cracking box and a cracking book.
Yes. I've already played a game with it, and it's amazing.
Nice.
How
I haven't spoke to you in ages, but like you seem like you're the busiest man in the world.
No, like it's like Mark Zuckerberg, Mr. Beast, and then it's probably me.
No, maybe, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, top 5 then. Let's say 5 because I'm pretty sure Twitter's needing a lot of Musk's attention as well. So I'd say you're probably maybe a normal week he's not busier than you, but this week maybe he is.
Maybe, yeah. Zuckerberg only because he's so busy firing everybody, but
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true as well.
But it's just I'm just so happy for Garrett.
It's good, isn't it?
I'm just so happy.
The last time I spoke to you, you didn't even believe there was going to be a guy on a horse. So how do you feel about the guy on the horse?
Yeah, the guy on the horse is fine. Yeah, the model is a bit bizarre in that I think I struggle with that model a little bit because I like gritty guard armies.
Yeah.
And I read like all the guard literature, and as soon as I saw that guy, it looks like the guy that every single cool character I've ever read in a book would roll their eyes at when he was on the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have this feeling, I have this like image in my head of like the battle being over, like 80% casualties, the survivors are all in bits, and then a lander comes out down, and this guy and his horse come out, and he takes a photograph of the propaganda and stuff.
Yeah,
and then he takes all the credit and all the medals and stuff as if he was some glorious leader, and he's not.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan is to take him and just do a repaint. So mine is going to be in Cadian colors. So he's going to have like tan fatigues, and he's got good green. I still have gold. And he still have a big red cape, but he just kind of look more like one of the lads, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I can see him being very easily converted with some of the Rough Riders as well.
Oh, yeah. for sure.
And then he would be like, I know I said it to you before, but I'm definitely getting Rough Riders, and I'm definitely I'll put them in my guard army, but they're really gonna be for Cities of Sigmar.
Oh yeah.
And I really think that he fits the bill for that as well. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, just, I can see him sat there as he is in the standard model, like holding onto the reins, but the other hand, like lasgun across his chest, looking the opposite direction, like, grim. He knows his horse has been rebuilt more times than he can count, right? He's gonna have to. It's not gonna be good, but it's a great model.
Yeah, it is. It is a great model.
I agree. I don't like it as well. I don't think it makes any sense. But I mean, it makes as much sense as them killing off Mr. Yarrick.
I haven't actually read that bit, and that is apparently in the book somewhere, but I haven't kind of dug through it and found it. But I had said that, like, as soon as they said, and I'm not even joking, you can ask anybody who was around me at the time, as soon as they were like, okay, the Indominus Crusade has happened, we have 100-year jump in time.
Years, yeah.
I was like, what happened to Yarrick? He's dead.
Yeah.
Like,
although I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him back as well in a Psychic Awakening type book, like they did with Gazgul.
Yeah, I was wondering how they we put him in suspended animation, or he's now Dreadnought or something, like I don't know, like a something.
Yeah, I mean, one way or the other, I quite like. I like that it's moved, because nothing else has moved, right? Like, everything else is the same. You still have, I mean, even Creed. Like, I know Creed's gone, but he's not. His daughter's there, so
yeah,
it means he's not really that far gone. He's only maybe 30 years gone if she's in charge.
Well, no, remember what happened to him in the end times.
Oh yeah, he's been. Well, I mean, I don't want to say it out loud, but yeah, he's in someone's collection.
Yeah, so there's still the potential that he might at some stage. Like, that's why I thought they put him in a ball, was so he could come, do his thing and return at some stage. So the fact that his daughter showed up then was confusing. It was like, maybe they're not going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but even her showing up means that he's only been gone 30 years.
Yes.
So, but I think the best thing that has ever happened, other than my Chaos box arriving tomorrow, is the Necromunda.
The new vehicle.
I'm definitely going to use that as a land fortress for the.
Yeah, it's like they're like, oh, he wants to use squats as it. Yeah. Oh, we better help him out. Let's push it through, guys. He needs it now.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
it is. It's everything. It looks. I mean, you've got the other Necromunda stuff, so it looks the same size, right, as the other land train. It is
one of them. Did you not read the article?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I mean, I haven't seen one, so I only know from you telling me how big it is.
Oh, you haven't seen one in person yet? Yeah.
No, I don't have any friends.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it is. It looks great.
It's a beautiful kit, and I am very excited to do the other one at some stage.
That's great.
Oh,
what a time to be alive.
It is like. I am very much excited for when they start doing the army or gang specific, because we're getting the gang specific bites now. Obviously, we've seen the Escher Cutters, Goliath, the Orlocks, and the Nomads and stuff. So, but I'm also excited for when we're going to get their vehicles, like
agreed.
Their versions of everything. It's going to be so good.
I can see the Delac having almost like Necron, like crescent moon flyer things and crazy.
They're like
crazy stealth ships, and
like they're all like, I love that story, like they trade in information and stuff, so they're basically just aggressive hackers. They break into buildings and steal information and sell it on. It's like, that's so cool.
Well, this week is 3 years since they announced the Old World.
Yes, so
hopefully we'll get some sort of another thing this week, but like 3 years feels like forever.
It beyond forever. Did you hear the little extra rumor that was going around about that there? I just heard it there. Laura was telling me before I came on.
Go on.
Is that people were joking about Warhammer Fest? It's like be there or be square.
No, not going to happen.
So they might show it off something, because it's supposed to be out next year. That's officially supposed to be the launch.
I can't see it next year. I mean, next year was before the pandemic, right? So I imagine that got pushed.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't want it. I just can't see it happening.
Yeah. It's pretty weird. When they first announced it, I wasn't that excited, because like I was still very much manager of a Games Workshop, and I was in my head, I was like, okay, so we had this product before and we couldn't sell it. Why are you're gonna make it again and make it even more exclusive and niche and expect us to? What's going on here? Like, what's the plan? Explain it to me, please. But the more it's kind of coming, the more, because I love the Old World, so I'm super excited for more of it.
I kind of feel like if they look at it, like I think that one of the biggest mistakes with all of the Warhammer games that they have rectified in later years was the kind of reducing points so you had a bigger force. So it just became untenable, right? Like if you needed a vampire count's army, you had 4 characters and 300 models, and it was, it was fine if you wanted to play that, or you did the opposite and you just did Blood Knights and they were £300 a unit because they were ridiculously hard to get metal.
Yeah.
And it, the idea that if they look at the old world from like a 5th edition Warhammer Fantasy, where you have 4 or 5 nice units and lots of like expensive detailed stuff, I think that would pick up like nobody's business. But if you need, again, 400 models, I don't think people are going to get into it as much as people want to.
No, I don't. Like if they still have hordes in the game, I think they're making a mistake.
Like I think they should actually physically limit the unit sizes and say, be really specific and say, well, if you collect Empire from this region, this border prince or whatever does rank his units up 10 wide and 5 deep, but he's weird. Every other border prince does a maximum of 8 wide and 3 deep. Something silly like that, just arbitrary numbers so that whatever happens.
I agree.
But,
I was only saying that like someone else wanted to play old Warhammer with me there, and we're in talks to do something. But we even talked about the whole idea of like, we would play 8th edition, but we would not do hordes. We would just ignore that whole section of the book kind of thing. Go back to 5 wide, 4 deep kind of units and push around blocks and have a bit of fun. And
I see. That's where I think 8th edition fails, and I think 8th edition is the best Warhammer Fantasy that came out.
Yeah,
but I'd much rather play like 7th or 6th or 5th like any day, because I just buy, like, even a Skaven army is 40, 50 models and you're done. Like that's 2.5 units now if you play your cards wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Like the hordes were a bit annoying. Like, do you know what I hated? I hated they got rid of unit strength. I always thought that was such, because like I still remember to this day people just like flying high elf eagles up right in front of your unit and then just tilting them a little bit.
Yeah.
So then you charge them and then your huge big unit, like fucking 10 wide, flies out and presents its side to the middle of the board. You're like, this is stupid. It should be, you should wheel on the unit strength. So like the eagle, when I hit the eagle, it should wheel on me. Like this doesn't make any sense.
And I feel like they did the opposite then with 40k, where they were like, they went 8th edition, they were like, well, vehicles don't have a turning arc anymore because the vehicle will just naturally turn. And so it simplified that in a way that made sense for futuristic games. That doesn't make sense when, yes, you've got a giant eagle and it just goes crazy.
I really like the 40k current tank stuff, like the measure from anywhere in the hull and everything can fire. Like it just cuts out the 5 minutes of drawing that tape measure across the board and seeing if it can hit. Oh no, sorry, you're actually shooting through your own hole there. I can't see that. No, it just pivots and it fires and it does its thing. It's crewed by very competent tank drivers and gunners. They know what to do. Like they'll issue little micro orders of a little bit to the left, a little bit like that kind of thing, and they'll get their shots off. And
speaking of like little tank orders and the like, let's go back to guard because I'm looking at your Sentinel. Such a nice model. He's big as well. Like not huge, but like he's big compared to the other one.
Did you see the picture I put on Twitter?
Yeah, the two of them side by side.
Comparison,
He's big.
I thought the opposite. Like obviously he's bigger, but I think originally it seemed as though he was much bigger. Like when I first saw him in that like leaked image, I was like, are these like 2 people Sentinels? Like I thought they were like really big. So, but I love the size. I think it's perfect, and I cannot wait to get my hands on, at least 2 more to create the unit for the Cadians.
I mean, he's at least 50% bigger. I'm looking at this kind of head on with your armored Sentinel. He's big, and the base is much bigger as well, right? That's what, like 50 mil base to 60 or 70 mil.
So the original base. Sorry, I'm walking out the microphone. I grab both of them.
Go for it. I'll just edit in whatever I want anyway.
No, that's true. I keep forgetting you do that kind of madness. So the original Sentinel base is 60, and the new one is an 80 base, or is it 100?
Big.
Yeah. It's for sure, like just beastly things. I love Sentinels. So more Sentinels, please. Yeah,
I really like them. And this is a weird box as well because it's not actually shipping for like 3 weeks or something. I think it's not till the 25th or something. It's not been.
It was a 2-week pre-order, yes, which was
Yeah,
bizarre.
weird. Well, it's just unusual this time of year, I guess, because this is the time of year they're trying to get everything out of the way before Christmas.
Yeah, but I still find it bizarre. Like, are we still getting World Eaters this side of Christmas?
Potentially.
It just feels like there's not enough time left in the
Well, I mean,
in the year for the releases that we think are coming.
they've had Chaos at Christmas for 6 years, 7 years maybe now, where they did that. What was the first one? Was it Nurgle? Where it was like Christmas Day reveal kind of thing, was like the Nurgle choir, and then the year after was Korn, and then it was Zinch, and then I think last year, although time doesn't exist because of the pandemic, they did both the Korn and Zinch books for Age of Sigmar at once.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a January release, but we saw everything again at Christmas. Like that was the date reveal, or
yeah, potentially.
But it's good. Like I'm really happy that we've got Slaves to Darkness book, because so many models in that have been people waiting on them for so long. Really glad we've got Cadia. Again, we talked about this before. I don't like that it's just Cadia, but it's cool. And actually, the Cadian rules seem decent as well.
Yeah. I know what you mean. The whole like just Cadia, but I still don't know how they would kind of write in all the other like regiments, or would you expect them to get a plastic one of everything, or I don't know. But I understand what you mean, even just like not having any Australian rules. But then you do kind of have Australian rules.
I know, but I mean, Cadian's got their own specific rule for some reason, and they're like 5 points more expensive than the Cadian troops, and they are not 5 points better.
Yeah, see, I have this theory that Games Workshop writes rules sometimes specifically so you don't want to buy them. It's like, yeah, we got Catachans. They're not very good. Don't buy them. They're ugly old models. Like, like they always said, of course we're going to leave the rules there for Tomb Kings and Bretonnians and Age of Sigmar. And to this day, they still have rules for Tomb Kings. And they're the most muck rules that have ever existed in Age of Sigmar. Like, everything's about 3 times the point costs it should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're like, they're there, but we don't want you to want to buy them, because then we'll get questions constantly about how do I buy them. So I don't know.
And I don't know. I mean, the other side of that then is the Kazakans, who have some of the best rules in the book, and the Scions, who have no regiment rules.
No.
They do operate independently. Like, I feel like they've got their own rules built in, whereas Kazakans are from any force, if that makes sense. Like, you could probably have elite Kazakans from any army, but these guys are specific, and the Kazakans are so good. The only benefit on the other guys is they can deep strike, and you can take them units of 5.
And you get hot shot volley guns. Never underestimate a hot shot volley gun.
Yeah, but I'd rather pay. I mean, also the other side, 100 points for a unit of 10 Kazakans, 110 points for 10 of the Scions, and the Scions just don't get the benefits of being in the army.
Do they not get they have the deep strike advantage, which
that's the only thing they get,
which is quite powerful, getting them deep strike in. But I don't think it balances out with the extra
5 wounds with the 4-up save, deep strike, and that's really useful.
I like the Karsakan rule where they get to pick an extra trait is just beyond bonkers.
As long as it's unique, it's so good.
It's beyond amazing. It's that whole, like, I was trying to explain it, like, it's like literally that special forces team who have trained for that one mission.
Yeah.
So for the last like 8 weeks before drop, they've planned this, and now they're specialists in doing whether it be demolition or scout. Or oh my god, it's so good.
I know, it's so good. But that's exactly why this book needs to exist. Like, they spent a long time with it, and they've got some really good models, and I like where they've gone with it. We'll all get it in pre-order product that will be delivered from the 25th of November, according to their website. That's what I went here to look for, not just at these nice new models, which I've just been doing for the last 5 minutes. I've just been looking at the Cadians.
It happens. Yeah, I'm painting them, so I don't.
Oh, yeah. How are they to assemble?
They're kind of like all Warhammer that currently exists. They're kind of a pain in the arse because every single model is a completely unique set of pieces that are all numbered. And you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, all right, build this Cadian. Please 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, body, and then
but is it the same as Leagues of Votann, where once you got the body assembled, you could put any set of arms with them? And if you didn't know that, you can.
No.
As long as the arms came in the right order, obviously. Like the captain
No.
who's got the Tommy gun, which I think is cool. As long as you've got that, it's still. Is it like shoulders and stuff, or how?
It's
how
like
do they
things
go
like
apart?
they're so well made that when like a guy holds it across his chest,
It
there's
perfectly
grooves
fits.
cut into the land,
Yeah.
like for his pouches and stuff. So
Yeah,
you
okay.
can't just put any set of arms on. So, but there's loads of options for each guy. There's like, you know what I mean? Like I built 20 from the box set, and no two have any parts the same. Like,
God, they're so good. That's actually
So-
one of the things I do with here's a little hobbyist trick. If I'm building multiple boxes of the same kit, I try not to use the second sprue. So if I'm building
I
Leagues
did
of
that with the
Rotan, for
heads, for
example,
instance, yeah.
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I've got four sprues and two of them have heads on it, until all the heads are gone from the first sprue,
Yeah.
I don't use the second one to make sure it's different. I was actually thinking about you in the last week because I painted my World Eater Terminator Year 2 model.
I saw, looked great.
Yeah, and I couldn't resist but convert him just slightly. Like if you look at the actual model, he's very, arms are almost 90 degrees directly in front of him. Head is
Yeah.
straight ahead. My guy's just slightly to the left. It's just
Nice.
like I couldn't not do it. I don't know what
Yeah.
it was, but I was thinking because you were giving me grief about my requirements to do that before. But it really stood out. I'm gonna have interest with these guys because I think these Cadians are gonna be absolutely mental when I get to play with them.
Yeah, I'm fully doing a full platoon of new Cadians to go in with my Kree. Like I'm doing all the
Yeah.
guard base the same, that kind of thing. I'm putting together like a Lord Solar and his many regiments of guard kind of thing. So the only thing that's going to tie them all together is the basing scheme,
Nice.
which is why the Sentinel that you've seen and stuff has my
Yes, the
Krieg
planks.
basing style and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. So I've already built the bases for the weapon, the big guns, and they look class.
I saw an absolutely amazing conversion on Twitter the other day where someone did, I think it was Sons of Horus 30k like Gatling cannon or whatever, the kind of trench warfare kind of sentry gun kind of things. But
Yeah.
he used the new Imperial Guard kit,
Ugh.
and they are. It just goes to show how small humans are versus Imperial Guard.
Yes.
It's absolutely gorgeous, just phenomenal.
I love it. I love it. Like those big guns, those are the things that I got to use a lot in my game.
Yes.
Because before I got to use any of my I hadn't built any of the Cadians yet, so I used it was amazing because I've been playing Guard nonstop for the last few years kind of thing.
Yes.
This is the first time I got to play with Guard using a single book.
Yes, that's true. And also something actually new.
Yeah. But like I did not take any of the Krieg specific stuff. If it wasn't in the book, I didn't take it kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I didn't use any of the engineers and I didn't use but I got to take all of my like mortars and stuff, my heavy mortars and quad guns, and I used them as the new, because I based them up already and they're on exactly the
Yes, of
same
course.
bases that they put the new guns on. So I got to see what they're like. Oh, they're amazing. They're so good. Oh my word. I was so happy.
Yeah. But I mean it's great that you can finally use them officially, properly.
It
without
was
any
always,
questions.
Yeah, it was always a bit of a pain. Even all the battle reports that we did, like Dave is better at the rules than I am.
Sure. I mean,
so he would
anyone's
be
better
like,
at the rules
"You
as
can
well.
do this thing." I'm like, "How can I do that thing?" Well, I was in this thing, and then he'd go on his phone for a few minutes, then come back, like, "See this article here?" I'm like, "Oh, where did that come from? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?"
If you want to follow Mediocre Hobbies, you can follow me under that name, Mediocre Hobbies, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, most importantly, YouTube. I'm everywhere. Think of social media, I'm on it under the name Mediocre Hobbies. So yeah, follow along.